California State University leaders met with Governor Jerry Brown yesterday to discuss his latest plan that calls for $1 billion in cuts to the system.
Among them was Chico State President Paul Zingg. Action News reporter Brian Callahan sat down with Zingg this morning to discuss the governor's plan and how it would impact the North State. Brian?
Alan, Kira, President Zingg says he and his fellow CSU presidents sat down to talk with the governor for about an hour yesterday, talking about the accomplishments of the CSU system and just what a $1 billion cut could do.
The main discussion with the governor was not so much the $500 million that we know we're going to get, but the possibility of getting another $500 million, and trying to be very clear with him that this would be a disaster.
Chico State President Paul Zingg was among 14 CSU presidents who met with Governor Jerry Brown Tuesday to discuss his latest budget revision that calls for a $1 billion cut to the CSU system.
The other $500 million shoe would be dreadful, because fee increases would go up exorbitantly.
CSU officials have been preparing for a $500 million cut since Governor Brown released his preliminary budget in December. Zingg says Chico State and the other 22 CSU campuses can weather that storm.
Part of it's been handled through fee increases. Part of it's been handled through stabilizing our enrollments. We're really not growing enrollments.
Zingg says part of the reason Chico State can handle the $500 million cut is because over the past 2 years, they've been treating all money coming into the school as one-time payments.
It's a reserve that we can go back to and help us get through a year or two.
But that doesn't mean Chico State will skate through unscathed. He says some courses will not be offered and empty positions will not be filled. But he says it's still better than a $1 billion cut that would devastate the Chico State campus.
Two bad things happen. Student fees go up and the time to degree increases.
The chancellor of the CSU system has already proposed a 32% fee increase to help offset the $1 billion cut. That's in addition to a 10% increase that is already scheduled for the fall.
Financial aid is not going to keep pace with that kind of a fee increase.
Zingg says the fee increases would also likely be accompanied by enrollment reductions, which he says could have a devastating impact on the North State economy.
If you reduce our enrollments by 1,000, you're taking $40 million, out of the community.
Zingg is hopeful the worst-case scenario will not become a reality after talking with the governor about his commitment to higher education and his plan to get the necessary funding.
He was, again, cautiously optimistic that he's going to be successful.
Now, Zingg says the governor is hoping to convince lawmakers to extend several tax measures until November of 2012 when he can get it on the ballot for a public vote. Live in the newsroom, Brian Callahan for Action News.